Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, a lot of people look at those automated valuations like on Zillow, or they talk to their neighbors, ask about the price to determine what their home is worth, especially now that it's taking longer to sell a home. How does a home seller decide what price to set when they are selling their home?
Well, Richard, sometimes Zillow is right, and sometimes it's too low, and sometimes it's too high. So you don't know. And Zillow, I don't really think Zillow has their pulse on the trends when they put those Zestimates online. But we're in the trenches. We're doing it every day. We can really feel what's happening. And what's happening right now, especially in the Colorado Springs area, is that we're seeing price corrections happen very quickly. And if all of a sudden we were getting showings and now we're not, you know what that means? That means that there's fewer buyers to that are competing for homes, right? So let me say that another way. There are fewer, there are more homes for sellers to compete with and fewer buyers that have the ability to buy homes. And so therefore, with the rates going high like that, therefore, a lot of homes are sitting on the market with very few showings and no offers, and it's like they're getting stale. So I'm seeing probably 30-40% of the home sellers start to lower their price right now. That's a big number. And so the best way to price a home is to do what I call pricing realistically versus optimistically. You know, the traditional wisdom years ago, you even in a buyer's market, you would price slightly high for quote negotiating room, but that does not work anymore. If you're priced high, buyers just aren't going to come see your home. It's just that simple. And if you price it too high, the market's going to tell you right away. Fewer buyers are going to want to come see it because they're looking online. And if they can find better choices, they're not even going to be bothered to go see your home. But if you price it right, you're going to get more showings and more offers. I've got one that I'm working right now. It's a lower priced home, and we've had problems with the inspection. It's an estate sale. It needs some work, a lot of work. Some of the work the seller's not willing to do. And the buyers initially say, oh, it's okay, I'll take it as is. And then they dive deep into it and change their mind and go, no, unless you fix all these things, I'm not closing. So they're at a price right now where they're consistently getting, so we've had two deals blow up, but we're still getting offers. So that tells me that they're priced right. Okay. And we're going to get a contract and it's going to close. But if you're not getting offers, you're not in the right price point. It's just that simple. And then sometimes you can use these automatic valuations and sometimes you just can't because they are not doing apples to apples. They're not comparing what can a buyer get. They might be looking at similar sales, but buyers care about what can they get in their price range. So if you go on websites like realtor.com, there's this one section called Real Value, and it'll have 3 different automated valuations. And you can put your address in there, and you will see a big, wide range of values, anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000 difference. And just so you know, companies like Zillow and Open Door, they lost $1 billion betting on their automated valuations. So they're not a good resource either. You really need to work with an agent that's out there selling in the market all the time. They're going to know what's going on. And some people naturally try to squeeze more money out of their home. Everybody wants the most money. I mean, that's of course logical when they're selling, right? But at the end of the day, the home is going to sell for whatever the right buyer is willing to pay. And so there are some people go, well, I put this much in, or my neighbor's house sold for X. It doesn't matter. Every house is different. And even if you look backwards just a few months ago, we're seeing this a lot. Like when we sat down and priced a home, we said, oh, this looks like a good price for the home. And a couple weeks later, crickets. Nobody's coming to see it. And we had to make a price correction. That's how quick this market is moving right now. And so the best way to do it is to be the best available home in your $50,000 increment. And just so you know, I went to appraiser school and passed. I thought it was boring to be an appraiser. It wasn't. I'm not in that. I'm not wired to do that kind of detail work. Bless their hearts. I know they work very hard, but it's just not something I want to do. But I know what they do. Okay. They look at similar sales. Similar means same floor plan sold in the same neighborhood within the last 6 to 12 months. They can make adjustments for square footage, bedrooms, baths, garage spaces, that kind of thing. But even an appraisal, like I've had some people get an appraisal and go, well, I priced my home at the appraised amount, and it's not selling. This is people that hired other agents. So I finally just asked them, and I know this is a little bit brutal, but I said, did the appraiser make that offer for your home? Did they offer to buy your home at that price? And the answer is going to be no. So obviously, if you priced it there and that's not what you're getting, then the appraiser isn't correct either, as far as what the market's willing to pay. Does that make sense, Richard?
It does, yeah, especially coming from you because you're able to take some of this stuff a little bit complicated and make it easier to understand. Yeah.
But the best way to figure it out is if you go on the market's going to tell you right off the bat if we didn't hit the target. If you're getting no showings or very few showings, you're way off 5, 6, maybe even more percentage points. If you're getting some showings and no offers, then you're probably 3 to 5%. It's a big number in some of these prices. And if you're getting offers, you're probably close to being on target. But if you're not getting the offers you want, you're just a little bit off. And I saw that play out in a few homes this past summer where we were getting offers, but they were stupid lowball offers, right? So that tells me that we've got it priced close to being right, but maybe not exactly. And sometimes you can just make a move of 1%. It's enough to get the right buyer to pay full price. And in general, according to the National Association of Realtors, if you price a home too high and slowly walk the price down, you're going to net less money. It's not the right answer. You need to be priced. The best case scenario is to be priced very, very realistically within the first 10 to 30 days on the market. Otherwise, it's going to get stale and buyers are going to pass it by. My name is Barb Schlinker. I am the host of Your Real Estate Voice. I've been here selling real estate since 1996. So I've seen a few things, and I'm not one of those 30 sales in 30 years type agents. I've sold thousands of homes. We're selling hundreds every year. So I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on in the market right now. I'm not trying to tell you, things that I don't know, of course. And so what we're talking about is right now, how to price a home to get the most money. And later on, we're going to talk about the things that you can do to really command the most money. So if you are thinking of making a move and you'd like to get a free in-home consultation on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale, we'll also look at all the similar sales to give you a really good idea on where to price your home to command top dollar. And then we'll also go over all the closing costs so you know exactly how much you'll put in your pocket when it sells. Give me a call. My name is Barb Schlinker. You can call me at 719-301-3900, or you can go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard, I put a house on the market just a week, actually it was 2 weeks ago, and we activated the listing. We had a good turnout at the open house. We got a contract right away. So obviously it was priced right. That buyer wants to close really, really fast, and it's in great condition, and he did everything right. He priced it realistically. We got it prepared for sale so it looked beautiful, and we were able to get it sold in just a few days at $5,000 over asking price. So if you're getting over asking price right now, we've hit the mark. And generally, if you price it just right, whether it's a pretty home or not a pretty home, it's going to sell. If it takes less than the average days, it means that you've done the right thing and you priced it right. Right now, the average days on market for the Colorado Springs area is probably about 20. I predict in September it's going to go up to about 35 days. In the Denver area, it's far less than that. But generally, we're selling homes 3 times faster. And right now, don't be surprised if the buyers are asking you to pay some of your closing cost. And Richard, we're going to talk about that when we come up next.
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She's the host of the program, and you can listen to replays of the show anytime on all of the major podcasts, as well as Barb's YouTube channel, Barb Schlinker. And if you're thinking of making a move, of course, call Barb at 719 301 3900. Barb, what are some of the other magic bullets on pricing, and what brings value to a home?
Well, I mean, I think the things that bring value are is pretty simple. It is preparation. In other words, most buyers, according to National Association of Realtors, 40 plus percentage of the buyers are going to turn their nose up at homes that need work. That includes the cosmetic stuff in general, flooring, broken appliances, curb appeal, all the things that are critical to get done up front. That is the best way to handle it because buyers want to just move in, drop their stuff, and get on with their lives. They typically don't want to rehab homes, right? And if they do, it has to be priced appropriately, well below market value. And right now, a lot of buyers are asking the seller to pay some of their loan closing costs. So they're coming in maybe at full price and saying, "Hey, seller, will you pay 10,000 of my loan closing costs?" Well, that's a big number, don't you think, Richard?
I think it's a very big number, and especially if it comes as a surprise and they don't have someone representing them like you are who can give them a heads up that this just might happen.
Right, it might happen. And the reason it's happening, especially for the resale homes, is these buyers need to have to pay their mortgage interest rate down to make it affordable for them. But we can go up in price. We can negotiate that. And so don't worry too much about that. And if you price it just right, the buyers are going to come and they're going to pay full asking price. I do it again and again, even in this market that's shifting. I just sold a home last week from a young couple in Briargate. They ended up getting 10,000 over asking price because they did everything right. It's still happening, but you have to make sure that you follow the system. And if pricing too low is usually not a problem because it's going to end up selling for market value in that case. Or if it needs work, there'll be some people that will make an even lower offer. What I find the secret sauce for pricing is to price it what I call on the low side right now because we're in a seasonal change, realistically versus optimistically. And that's part of the services that we give to our clients. We do a careful evaluation of similar sales. We give them tips on what to do, what not to do. We compare apples to apples so they know exactly how much they're going to put in their pocket when it sells. So if you want to make a move, give us a call at 719 301 3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. And if you're not ready right now, it's okay. Go to barbhasthebuyers.com. We've got some great free reports. One of them is entitled How to Get the Price You Want and Need. Richard?
You're listening to Barb Schlinker on Your Real Estate Voice. Barb is Your Real Estate Voice, and she is behind Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the owner and the broker. And if you're thinking of selling your home and want to get the very most amount of money when you sell, call Barb at 719 301 3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. A short break. When we come back, what to do if you want to buy a home, but you have a house to sell first. Plus, Barb's hot new listings. You don't want to miss them.